Over the years, I've heard quite a bit about Franz Kafka, in particular, his famous story, The Metamorphosis, which begins with a sentence that goes something like this. One morning, Gregor Samsa, after a night of bad dreams, woke up and found he was a giant insect. It's quite an unusual, even shocking beginning to a story, and I've come across it many times. Many times. But, and this is a classic but I've never read the doggone story. The first sentence is as far as I've ever gotten. I thought maybe I should fill out my education and read the story. So I did. I thought it was a short story, but it's a novella, and it took me longer than I expected to read it. Toward the end, I confess I began to skim. For a famous story with a crazy beginning, it's rather boring, or at least it was to me. Not much happens, certainly nothing surprising happens after that zany opening. He's a traveling salesman, and he's not too happy about that, and he doesn't like his boss. But he's got to work. He's been working his job for 15 years, he's trying to support his family, and his parents are somehow in debt to his boss, and he's trying to pay that off and also earn enough so his sister can go to school to study the violin. At the moment, having realized that he's turned into a giant bug, he sees he's late for work, and he's never late for work. That's going to be a problem. His office manager shows up immediately, wanting to know why he's late. Everyone thinks he's sick. He's having trouble talking and getting out of bed. He finally manages that, opens the door, turning the key with his mouth, and they see him. His mother faints, and the chief clerk runs away. His father beats him back into the room. His sister starts bringing him food. At first she cares about him. Then she gets sick of him. His father is angry and his mother is horrified. He starts living under a couch. His sister and mother remove furniture from his room to give him more space, but this upsets him. He crawls on the walls and ceiling. One day he gets out of his room. His family has taken on 3 gentlemen boarders to help with the money. They see him and announce that they will not pay rent due to the filthy conditions. His father throws apples at him. One sticks in his back, injuring him badly. The family takes on a cleaning lady, and I think each of them, mother, father, and sister, finds work to make up for his loss of income. One day the cleaning lady reports a large dead insect. Gregor has unceremoniously passed away, doing everyone a favor. His family goes on vacation, deciding to move to smaller quarters, and their financial situation is not as bad as they thought. The parents see that their daughter is now a grown woman and very comely, so they will try to find her a suitable husband. That's about it. I'm skimming over it and probably leaving things out, but the genius, groundbreaking part of it escaped me. After the big opening, it's quite pedestrian, plodding along tediously, and I never could answer the question, why do I care? The guy's a bug. I can see the drawbacks, but so what? I recognize that a bug, beetle, insect, vermin is the absolute antithesis of the human. And I have a feeling that Gregor wasn't doing so hot before the metamorphosis in the self-esteem department, so this transformation may not be as radical as it appears to be. In fact, I would say that appearances may have caught up with the emotional reality that Gregor began to feel like a bug before he became one. Another question I could not answer was whether the author wanted me to take the story seriously. Was it meant to be straightforward, or was it a big joke intended to make me laugh? I couldn't decide. I could picture it as a TV show about the family and their son turning into a bug. There's a premise for you. Don't ask how or why. And they struggle to get it on with life with a giant bug for a son. Obviously, complications and hilarity ensue. They could call the show He Bugs Me. I don't think Kafka meant it as a funny story, because the main character is so unhappy and then he dies and no one misses him. They're relieved. Maybe it is black humor. As for me, except for the part about him turning into a beetle, that would be the first sentence, I don't understand why this is such a highly regarded story. I'm probably missing a great existential message or the metaphorical truth of it. But having read the whole thing, I could have been satisfied if I'd stopped at the end of the first sentence, which may be why that's all you usually see.